Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and today I have another Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire team review for you guys today. And yes, this is another VGC team. Now, before we get started, there's a couple things I want to let you guys know. Now, first things first, I'm sorry if there's any static in the background. There is nothing I can do about it. It's out of my control. I tried, like literally, I was sitting at my computer for at least 2 hours to 2.5 hours one night and trying to fix it, and it would not like work. I cannot get the static off my videos, so there will be static in the background, so I do apologize about that. My fan is on, but I tried to record without my fan and the static is still there, so I don't know what's up with that. So I do apologize if there's any static and if it is annoying. And last but not least, there won't be any more singles teams reviews for a while, just because I'm more into VGC now, because I really want to get good into VGC. So there will be more VGC teams in the future rather than singles teams. Now, I'm not saying that I'm never going to upload another singles team review. It's just that for a while there won't be any singles teams. So with that, let's just get right into it. So as you guys all know, my Mega Kangaskhan team is probably my favorite VGC team I've ever made, and I'm getting bored with it, and I'm not getting bored with it at the same time. But I just want to have another VGC team, so then when I'm like on Battle Spot or on Showdown, if I get sick of using my Mega Kangaskhan team, I can use my Mega Lopunny team and vice versa. So I've been actually working with this team for roughly around a week now, and I said I was going to be doing this team review video on Sunday or Monday, and it's now Thursday afternoon. I do apologize, some stuff came up and I really couldn't do it, but nonetheless, this team has just been putting in nothing but the work, and I'm actually very surprised because this team isn't as bulky as other teams are. I mean, granted that I do have the Sylveon, the Scrafty, and the Suicune that are very, very bulky, but other than that, that's pretty much it. And sometimes they really can't take a hit, just depending on what Pokemon your opponent has out. But as you can tell from who we have on our team, we do have Ivankov the Lopunny, we have Scrumptious the Sylveon, we have Bruh the Scrafty, we have Nappy the Gengar, we have Black Lotus the Bisharp, and then we have a Suicune. Now, I do have a battle at the end of the video for you guys. Now, I do have to let you guys know that the battle I'm going to be showing you I had about a week and a half ago, somewhere around there, because like I said, I've been working with this team for roughly around a week, and just because like I switched some Pokemon out and I switched some back and stuff like that, so it's like some stuff has changed in the battle, but nonetheless, it's a very, very good battle, and all the Pokemon that I used in that battle are all the Pokemon I had on this team. So that's just a little heads up. But anyways, let's just start off with Lopunny. Now, I've used Lopunny in the past before, but it was only in the super rotations in the Battle Maison and Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, and literally Mega Lopunny is such a boss. It swept through almost the entire streak to number 50, all the way to the Battle Maison, like brain, I guess you want to call it, since it is Hoenn and it's technically the Battle Frontier. But like literally, Lopunny maybe died once or twice, and also I only had to switch Lopunny out like maybe once or twice as well. But other than that, Lopunny like literally took care of everyone in the super rotations. So I wanted to give it a chance in VGC. Now, I've seen a couple teams that use Mega Lopunny. It's pretty much the exact same thing as a Mega Kangaskhan, but Kangaskhan is a little bit more bulkier than Lopunny, so it's like I'm losing some bulk, but I'm also using a different Mega, so it's pretty much the exact same thing, but Lopunny is a more frailer Mega. But other than that, like I said, Lopunny just puts in the work. Now, this is a standard Lopunny that you would see on a regular Lopunny with max attack, max speed, 4 in defense, and with a jolly nature. Now, usually people put the last 4 in its special defense, but I rather have it in its physical defense, just because in VGC there's a lot of fighting type Pokemon, or should I say there's a lot of fighting type coverage moves and fighting type Pokemon that like to target Lopunny, because everyone knows the power and the destruction of Mega Lopunny, so they try to take care of it first. So that last 4 in defense could help you out in the long run. Now, I would have had it in its HP, but I decided to put it in its defense. Now for its ability, I actually went with Limber rather than like Klutz or Q-Charm, just because Limber does come in handy, because if you don't know what Limber does, pretty much you cannot become paralyzed with a regular Lopunny, because like sometimes I do come across some prankster Pokemon, mostly nowadays it's just Thundurus and Meowstic that do carry like the Thunder Wave, and they always like to try to Thunder Wave my Lopunny, but what I usually like to do is just stay on Mega Evolve sometimes and then fake out one of the Pokemon and I know that they're not going to be able to Thunder Wave me because I do have the Limber ability. So if you're going to be using like a Mega Lopunny, I actually prefer the Limber ability just because you cannot become paralyzed with this ability while you have Lopunny without the Mega Evolution. Now for its moves, it's like I said, it's pretty much the standard moves: Fake Out, Return, Ice Punch, and Drain Punch. Now Fake Out, obviously it's stab and also priority, and can also get the 100% flinch unless your opponent has Inner Focus. Then that's a different story. Like Mega Gallade, I believe, also has that. Return, same thing for Fake Out. It's stab, and also it does massive amount of damage. Now I would have run Double Edge, but sadly enough, Lopunny does not get access to Double Edge. Ice Punch is pretty much just for coverage. I was thinking about running Fire Punch just because I do not have any fire type attacks on my team except for Sylveon, which I'll get to in a sec. So it's pretty much up to you if you want to run Ice Punch or Fire Punch. But for now, I believe Ice Punch is a better fit for me right now. And the last move I'm running is Drain Punch. Now a lot of people would like to run like maybe Low Sweep or Low Kick or like High Jump Kick, but I rather prefer Drain Punch just because oh, I'm sorry about that. Just because I like to get the health back, because I am running a Mega Lopunny, and with Megas you have to run the Mega Stone unless you're using a Mega Rayquaza, but that's a different story. And I like to get some of my health back while also having stab with a Mega Lopunny, because Lopunny does get access, or does become part fighting, so Drain Punch is going to become stab, so you're going to be doing damage while also gaining HP. So that's why I prefer Drain Punch over like Low Kick or Low Sweep. And also a lot of people like to run High Jump Kick in VGC for Mega Lopunny, but I actually despise running High Jump Kick on Mega Lopunny while having it in VGC, because Protect is such a standard staple move to have in VGC. So if you're going to be using High Jump Kick, you pretty much have to out-predict your opponent to use Protect, and that can also be a problem because once you actually reveal the High Jump Kick, then you're pretty much screwed because your opponent's just going to like protect you to death until you pretty much die on your own. So I actually prefer Drain Punch over any other fighting type move, just through my opinion. And you can run like Low Sweep or Low Kick, but other than that, there is Mega Lopunny. And for those of you asking about Lopunny's nickname, Ivankov is a One Piece character. Just look up Ivankov if you're a One Piece fan. You'll understand the nickname once you see the character, because Ivankov can become female and or male, and a lot of people think that Lopunny should just become 100% female. But other than that, let's just move on to the next Pokemon, which is Sylveon. Now this Sylveon set is the exact same set I showed you on my Mega Kangaskhan video. It's pretty much Aaron Cybertron Zang's Sylveon, but I changed one thing, which was its from Shadow Ball to Hidden Power Fire. Now, what I usually do is I give credit where credit is due, so I'll put Aaron Cybertron Zang YouTube channel in the description box down below so you guys can go check him out. He's an amazing VGC battler. I'm pretty much learning everything I can about VGC from him. So if you're trying to get into VGC like I am, go and check him out. But anyways, this is actually his exact same set for his Sylveon, or like one of the sets he uses, because he did like a Sylveon analysis video, and this was one of the sets that he was using, or what other people use. But instead of Shadow Ball, I actually put Hidden Power Fire, because like I said, I do not have a Pokemon with a fire type move, so I had to actually think about, okay, which Pokemon should I have a fire type move? And I was thinking, Lopunny can get access to the Elemental Punches, so I might be giving it Fire Punch over Ice Punch. And also, I believe, what's this called? Scrafty can actually get access to Fire Punch as well, so that's also a possibility. But I was like, in the long run, you know what? I'm actually going to go with Hidden Power Fire for Sylveon, just because Ferrothorn is a thing, and so is Scizor. And Scizor and Ferrothorn pretty much wall my team because I cannot do anything to them. Well, granted, I can do something to Ferrothorn, but I'll actually be gaining damage rather than dealing the damage as well. So Hidden Power Fire does come in handy because it is a special move. And I can also pretty much almost one-shot a Ferrothorn. Now, I don't know about the Ferrothorn's builds that everyone else uses, but Sylveon with Choice Specs, Max Special Attack with a Modest Nature can bring down a Ferrothorn to like 10%, So that is also a very, very good thing. So that's what I really like to do, is just if I see a Ferrothorn, I always have to bring a Sylveon, because I know I'm going to outspeed, and I know I have to Hidden Power Fire that thing, because if I do not get rid of the Ferrothorn and or the Scizor, I am pretty much going to lose this match, because Scizor and Ferrothorn can wall me to death. Well, granted that Scizor does get access to Bullet Punch, but I don't believe Bullet Punch can one-shot my Sylveon unless it's a crit, Choice Banded, or they have a Swords Dance up. Other than that, I do not think a Bullet Punch can kill me in one shot from a Scizor, even if it is Technician. So this is the exact same set: Choice Specs, Pixelate, with the moves Helping Hand, Side Shock, Hyper Voice, and Hidden Power Fire. Now, if you're wondering about the Helping Hand, even though I am Choice Specs, Helping Hand is just one of those moves where it comes in handy when you really, really need it, because like literally, I was having a battle yesterday with this team, and I was down to my last 2 Pokemon, and my opponent still had like 2 Pokemon left, and I had to switch back out into my Sylveon. I had to use Helping Hand because I knew that I actually had Mega Lopunny on the side of my field next to my Sylveon, which were my last 2 Pokemon. I used Helping Hand, Drain Punch my opponent's Pokemon, and pretty much just one-shot everything, because Helping Hand just comes in handy. Now, yes, you will get stuck into Helping Hand, so you're pretty much taking the risk of getting locked into Helping Hand if Sylveon's your only Pokemon, so you're pretty much just lost the game. Unless your opponent goes for like a knockoff and you somehow live and outspeed your opponent, then other than that, you're going to be pretty much helpless if you get locked into Choice Specs, if Sylveon is one of your last Pokemon on your team, if you do not switch out. So like I said, it's just one of those things where it only comes in handy when you absolutely need it. Side Shock, because it's a coverage move and takes care of Amoonguses. Now, Amoonguses can eat Side Shocks for days pretty much. It can take at least 3, I know, or it takes 2 but then dies on the 3rd one, which I know that for a fact. So it just helps me a lot with Side Shock. And Hyper Voice, obviously, I do not have to go over. Pretty much what you're going to be using Hyper or Sylveon for is that you're pretty much going to be Hyper Voicing the whole time. So that's pretty much the priority. Or let me rephrase that. You're pretty much just going to be Hyper Voicing every time you have Sylveon out, because that's what Sylveon is mostly there for. It's just to Hyper Voice everyone. So, but other than that, Side Shock and Hidden Power Fire, and also Helping Hand are just other moves you can use if you actually absolutely need it. If you come across Pokemon that you need to like knock out. So, but other than that, you're pretty much going to be using Hyper Voice 95% of the time. For its EV spread, you can look at Aaron Cybertron Zhang's Sylveon's analysis video. This is one of the EV spreads that he was using on one of his Sylveons, and that's the one I went with. And the only thing I know about this says that if you have 48 in speed, you will outspeed other Sylveons unless they're Scarf or they run max speed or something like that, or anything above 48 EVs in its speed. So that's all I know about the EV spread, and also the special attack. I mean, don't have to go over that really. And pretty much, I guess, the 92 in HP and 116 in defense is pretty much just for defensive bulk. So with that, there is Sylveon. So let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is Scrafty. Now, I know Scrafty isn't one of the best Pokemon to have on this team, and also it's 4 times weak to Fairy, and same thing for Lopunny, it's weak to Fairy type moves as well. But I actually wanted to go with Scrafty just because, for one thing, it has Intimidate, and 2, it's really, really bulky because it has the same defensive base stats as Suicune, but its typing is what pretty much kills it. But I actually wanted to go with the Assault Vest variant. Now, I never used a Scrafty really ever before, so I really had to look up Scrafty's EV spread on Smogon, so that's what I did. And the first one I saw for doubles was this exact EV spread with 240 HP, 224 in physical attack, and 44 in physical defense with an Impish Nature and the Assault Vest. Now, this thing can't eat up hits. This thing can eat a Brave Bird from a Talonflame, literally, as long as you get the Intimidate off, because without the Intimidate, I do not think a Scrafty can live a Brave Bird from a Talonflame. But like I said, Scrafty can live a Brave Bird from a Talonflame. I've done it before, and I'm not sure if I know I came across a Talonflame with the battle video I'm going to be showing you at the end, but I can't remember if I lived a Brave Bird or not from a -1 Talonflame. Don't quote me on that, but it pretty much just depends on your EV spread, I guess, because I know I can live a Brave Bird from a Talonflame using Scrafty with the Intimidate, because I've done it before. I did it yesterday. But other than that, I really never used the Scrafty, and I really wanted to use one in VGC because a lot of people like to say that Scrafty isn't one of the best Pokemon to use in VGC, but it is viable in VGC as well. So I wanted to give it a shot, and Scrafty does put in the work when it needs to. So obviously I went with the Intimidate ability because that's my only Pokemon with Intimidate, and with I'm using the moves Fake Out, Knock Off, Drain Punch, and Poison Jab. Now what my opponent really likes to do is that if they have a Bisharp, they always want to lead out with it because they always think I'm going to lead out with my Scrafty because of the Intimidate ability. So it's like, I want to bring in Scrafty, but I don't at the same time, just because I am afraid of the Defiant Bisharp as well. Granted that I do resist pretty much all of its moves from a Bisharp, but that's besides the point. It's still going to get a +1 in physical attack and you pretty much just mollywop my whole team basically with just Sucker Punch. But other than that, pretty much Scrafty can take care of everything. Now I'm running moves like I said, Protect, Knock Off, Drain Punch, and Poison Jab. Fake Out obviously because it's priority and I get the 100% flinch. Knock Off to just knock off items as well, and also can take care of Gengars. I mean, granted that even if I do get burned from a Gengar or Toxic from a Pokemon, it doesn't really matter. As long as I get their item off, I'm fine with that. Drain Punch obviously because it's stab, same thing for knockoff, it is also stab, but with Drain Punch I can gain health back as well. And Poison Jab just because it could take care of the fairy types. Now I can't remember what move the set had on Cerebi for like the EV spread I found, but they had a different move other than Poison Jab, but I actually went with Poison Jab just because Sylveon is such a threat, and I know that I can potentially like maybe outspeed a Sylveon depending on what kind of set they're running, and just Poison Jab the Sylveon to death. And or if I can Fake it out and then Poison Jab, I can pretty much just knock it out from there because Poison Jab is a very good handy move. It can take care of grass types as well, and it just like I really like Poison Jab on Scrafty, so it's pretty much there for coverage obviously, and also just to take care of fairy type Pokemon and also grass type Pokemon. But the only grass type Pokemon I usually come across is just Contrary Superior. Other than that, that's all I pretty much run into. So with that, there is Scrafty pretty much. It does eat up hits. It's very good on my team basically. So with that, let's just move on to the next Pokemon, which is Gengar, aka Nappy. I like to nickname all my Gengars Nappy. Oh god, I'm sorry. But anyways, this is also another set from Aaron Cybertron Zhang's set. But anyways, I will link his channel into the description box down below like I said. But this is the exact same moveset he runs on his Gengar: Taunt, Will-O-Wisp, Icy Wind, and Sludge Bomb. Now, he hasn't done an analysis video on his Gengar yet, and I really want to know it, but the only thing I know is that the moves and the item. But on his Gengar, he actually runs Focus Sash over the Black Sludge. Now I actually went with Black Sludge just because I'm running Focus Sash on my Bisharp, which I'll get to why in a sec. So Black Sludge does really come in handy, and most of the time my opponent just really likes to knock me out first turn with like just trying to knock out Gengar first turn just because they know the threat of Gengar basically. But I don't know about his EV spreads as well, so I actually went with the normal EV spread, max speed, max special attack with 4 HP with a timid nature. But until I see Aaron Cybertron Zhang's EV spread, I'm gonna have to go with this, but I'm pretty sure it's the exact same EV spread. But yeah, so like I was saying about its item, I'm running Black Sludge over Focus Sash just because like I said, my opponent usually likes to knock me out first turn, just to knock out Gengar pretty much. So it's not like I really need to run Focus Sash on it, because like Gengar can pretty much outspeed everyone on my opponent's team, unless it's like a Talonflame, a priority move, or something like that. Other than that, Gengar can pretty much outspeed everyone. But that's what I decided to go with, is Black Sludge, because I like to just burn my opponents pretty much, and also taunt the prankster Pokemon as well, because like I can pretty much shut down Meowsticks with using taunt, unless my opponent actually has taunt on their Meowstick to taunt my Gengar. So it's like it's a taunt war, depending, you have to like outpredict your opponent. So that's what I usually like to do, is just taunt the prankster Pokemon, or taunt the Pokemon that I know it's gonna have either setup moves or status conditioning moves. But other than that, I really like to Will-O-Wisp my opponent and then just Icy Wind next turn, knowing that my opponent or my team can pretty much outspeed like everything now. So that's what I really like to do. And then Sludge Bomb is pretty much obviously another coverage for fairy type moves, just in case if I do not use Scrafty or Bisharp, Sludge Bomb is there just to pretty much deal damage and almost knock it out, because I know Sylveons can eat at least one Sludge Bomb from a Gengar, so I know that for a fact. But other than that, there's nothing really else I can talk about from this set, just because it's Aaron Cybertron Zangs, and he said he was going to be doing an analysis video on Gengar sooner or later in the future, so I'll leave that up to him whenever he uploads it. So with that, let's move on to the next Pokemon, which is Bisharp, aka Black Lotus. If you don't know where Black Lotus's name comes from, it's from one of my all-time favorite animes, Axel World. It's one of the main characters, and it just stuck on Bisharp. It's just a perfect name for it. Or Silver Crow, depending on if you're going male or female. But anyways, like I said, I actually am running the Focus Sash on my Bisharp rather than like the Lumberry or the Life Orb, just because I actually like need to like live on at least on like 1 HP just to deal damage. Because most of the time when I actually have Bisharp, my opponent always thinks that I have like the Focus Sash, and they always want to break it first turn, or they go into their Mega Kangaskhan and just either Power Punch, Low Kick, or Drain Punch my Bisharp and knock me out first turn. But besides that, Focus Sash really does come in handy, because then I know I can live at least one hit and just knock off one of my opponent's items unless they don't double target me. But that's the reason why I'm running Focus Sash over like the Life Orb or Lumberry. And also one other thing is that I am running a Tailwind Suicune, which I'll get to in a sec. So what I usually like to do is that I like to protect with my Bisharp and then just go off from there, because I am running an Adamant Nature, Max Attack, Max Speed, and 4 HP. Now Bisharp isn't the fastest Pokemon out there. Granted that it can outspeed a lot of other Pokemon as well, but what I usually like to do with my Bisharp is that I like to lead out with my Bisharp and Suicune, protect with my Bisharp, and then Tailwind with my Suicune, knowing that I can outspeed pretty much everyone on my opponent's team unless they have like a Talonflame or a priority move like Mach Punch or something like that to knock me out. Other than that, Bisharp can pretty much just like demolish my opponent's team. But there's a lot of Pokemon who can just pretty much take hits from Bisharp. Other than that, it can pretty much just mollywop my opponent's team as long as they don't double target it or just pretty much knock me out in one turn. Other than that, I really love Bisharp on this team, and I'm running the moves Protect, Sucker Punch, Knock Off, and Iron Head. Pretty much a standard move set for a Bisharp on VGC, but instead of running like Swords Dance, you will run Protect. I mean, do I really have to go over why you're running Protect? Protect is such a staple move for VGC. So with that, there's pretty much nothing else I can go over, so I am going to move on to the last Pokemon, which is Suicune. Now, I did run a Suicune on my Mega Salamence team that I did a team review on like a while ago, but granted, I was still getting into VGC, and I actually figured out that I had the wrong EV spread. Now, my mind was still in singles when I made that team as well, so I was still getting into it. My mind was still in singles, and I ran a max HP, max physical defense, bold nature Suicune, pretty much the standard EV spread you would see in a singles team. And I knew that was kind of like the wrong spread at the same time, because in VGC it's totally different for the EV spread. You actually have to spread out your EVs, if that makes any sense. Like, you gotta spread out your EVs to like know you're gonna be able to take at least one hit from a Pokemon, or just like some hits from your opponent as well. And I did need help with the EV spread for Suicune, because like I said, I really never used a Suicune in doubles other than like singles. So this was like the EV spread I saw on Smogon, so I did get the EV spread there, but I did go with like a different moveset as well, I guess, because I didn't pay attention to the moveset on Smogon. I just needed help with the EV spread. So I am running 232 in HP, 84 in physical defense with a bold nature, 112 in special attack, and 80 in special defense. This thing can eat like a Thunderbolt from like a Thundurus and stuff like that, and then I can also pop my Citrus Berry after that, so I'll pretty much be able to take at least 2 Thunderbolts from a Thundurus unless they get a crit. If they get a crit, I'm pretty much screwed from there and losing my Suicune. But what I usually like to do, like I said, I like to lead out with my Suicune and also my Bisharp, protecting my Bisharp and Tailwind first turn, because I always need to like get my Tailwind up first turn, and that's like one of my like things I really like to do. But like I said, I really never used a Suicune, and also I knew Tailwind was a thing in VGC, and I never used a Tailwind Suicune, nonetheless really much a Suicune in VGC at all. So I wanted to give Tailwind Suicune a try, and I am just absolutely in love with the Tailwind Suicune. It's probably one of my favorite Pokemon to use in VGC just because I really love Suicune as well. Now for the last move, we are running Scald and Ice Beam. Now Scald is pretty much my only water type move on this team, which kind of sucks. I mean, same thing for my fire type moves. I didn't have any fire type moves to pretty much take care of like Ferrothorns and Scizors. So Scald is pretty much, like I said, my only water type move, so I kind of have to preserve my Suicune at the same time as well, just to take care of like fire type Pokemon, what other ground type Pokemon as well. I mean, granted, I can take care of fire type Pokemon with my other Pokemon, but Scald pretty much is like, I need to preserve Suicune just because it's my only water type move, and also because it's Sab and I can get the potential burn. Now the last move I'm running is Ice Beam. Now I am not running like Icy Wind just because I am running Icy Wind on my Gengar, so I don't need two Pokemon that have Icy Wind, and also I'm not running Snarl just because I don't need another Dark type move on my team. I got Bisharp and Scrafty on my team, which has Dark type moves on them, so it's not like I really need a another Dark type move on my Pokemon. So I went with Ice Beam just because it's coverage. It can pretty much just take care of Mega Salamences, because Mega Salamences can pretty much just destroy my team. Literally, it can destroy my team. So Ice Beam really does come in handy when I come across Mega Salamence. I just always target it first, but sometimes they always like to protect first turn to get their stat increases and stuff like that. So I do have to like watch out for that as well, because I don't want them to set up with like Dragon Dances. But other than that, there is my team. So I know this video was kind of long, or it's still going to be pretty long, but now that I have a new recorder, I don't have a time limit, so I can just like take my own time and my own pace and stuff like that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this team review. This is pretty much a very, very fun team to use, but I do prefer my Mega Kangaskhan team over this team just because my Mega Kangaskhan team is, like, I would say, more balanced, if you would say. This team is just, like, I would say, like, for fun, and also you can use it as well if you do get bored with like your other VGC teams. So like I said, this is just like a fun team somewhat. So with that, I'm actually going to stop talking and let you guys enjoy a battle that I have with this team. Now granted, there was some stuff changed while I was recording this that I had in the battle, because like my Scrafty, I actually nicknamed it Sacred Wannabe, and I changed it to like Bruh. And same thing for Nappy, I named it Stelios, and I nicknamed it Nappy again. So some stuff did change in the battle, but other than that, it's pretty much the exact same Pokemon, just with like a couple stuff changed. So this is pretty much like the finalized version that I'm showing you. So with that, like I said, I'm just gonna stop talking. So with that, enjoy the battle. Anyways guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this team review video, don't forget to hit that like button, and also don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, I've already said this in my Y Mega Evolve video for Mega Suicune, which is going to be up on Friday, but I said that I'm going to be like not uploading any team review videos or any Y Mega Evolve videos for the next 2 weeks, starting on February 9th, because I am starting school back up again and I need to get my routine back for school. So there probably won't be any like Y Mega Evolve videos or team review videos for the next couple of weeks starting on the 9th, but I will try to get some moveset videos out for you guys as well. If you guys want to see any moveset videos from me for a certain Pokemon, put it in the comment section down below and I'll get right on it, because I have no problem in trying out a new set for a Pokemon I have personally never used. But nonetheless, like I said, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Go and check out some of my old videos from my Y Mega Evolve video. My most popular video from that series is my Mega Raichu video with over 10k views. Thank you guys so much for checking that video out. Let's try to get that video to over 15k views. That would make me so very happy. And I also do upload other team review videos, as you can tell. This is my VGC team reviews that I've been uploading constantly, and I've also uploaded single team reviews. Now, my latest single team review that I've done upload was my Mega Slowbro team. So if you guys are interested in making a Mega Slowbro team and don't know what Pokemon to have on the team, then go and check out that video. Now, granted, Greninja is on that team, and when I made that video, Greninja was not even suspected nor put into Ubers. So if you need a Pokemon to replace it, then try Latios, because that's what I actually have on my team to replace Greninja, and it works out perfectly. So yeah, and also I do upload moveset videos as well. So if you guys are interested in trying to get a different set that people normally don't use and getting tired of the same set that everyone else uses, then go and check out my moveset videos. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I gotta say. So like I said, thank you guys so much for watching. This is White Boy for the win. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later.